What is up, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Fire Sports Pod, where everything we got is hot. I am your host, Zach Jackson. Let's get right to the show I have for you guys today. It is currently Season 5, Episode number 34. Happy Thanksgiving to you all. I wasn't able to get the show yesterday. Was dealing with a lot of stuff. Couldn't get it on. Fell asleep early. But we're still getting it done. It's the one time we're going to miss the deadline. But guess what? We're doing it on Thanksgiving. It can't be better than this. So I hope you guys are having a splendid day. If you're here in New Jersey, it's pretty shitty out, but don't forget to enjoy it with your loved ones. I'm thankful for everyone that's been in my life, so I appreciate it, everyone. But let's get right to this show. I'm powered by StreamYard, where StreamYard makes the dream yard go. And let's get right into it. We got to go over something crazy. It's going to be a quick show for you guys. We're going to be going over college basketball, and we're going to be going over some news around the sports world in the last couple days. But, man, we got to get to this one recurrent factor. What the hell is happening with Uconn basketball? Men's college basketball, Uconn Huskies have lost 3 straight games down in Maui for the invitational tournament thing that they're doing. They've lost to Dayton just this morning. They've lost to Colorado. I mean, it's getting bad. It's getting bad with Uconn, man. Dan Hurley is obviously upset. I mean, I don't think anybody. He turned down a big, massive contract to be the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers to try to go back from a three-peat with Uconn, which would be the most and the best thing ever in college basketball. Probably hands down the best team to ever play if they do a three-peat and one of the best coaches to ever walk this planet. But it's not looking good. They are 4-3 right now. It is not looking good. So let's go right into some details about this horrific, crazy, horrendous loss for the last 3 games. I mean, just Dan Hurley's face, you can see it yourself. Dan Hurley's face, you can just see, is like flabbergasted. Like he doesn't know what the hell is happening. So if you just look, that's Dan Hurley's face, guys. They did 83-65 with 36 seconds left in the game to Dayton. Dayton's not ranked, bro. None of the teams that they've lost to, except for I think the first one, where the teams were ranked. It's crazy. Now, somebody might want to check on UConn head coach Dan Hurley. His team just lost a 3rd consecutive game, guys. A 3rd consecutive game. It just don't get worse than this. His team just lost a 3rd consecutive game, and he was so stunned by it all, he seemingly couldn't bear to watch. UConn's men's basketball team is going through it. Back-to-back champs time at Maui Invitational couldn't have gone worse. The Huskies lost an overtime stunner to Memphis, partly thanks to Dan Hurley's sideline antics and drew an ill-timed technical foul. Then they lost to Colorado, and you guessed it, there were more Hurley shenanigans. But Wednesday's loss to Dayton Flyers stunned UConn's coach. As time expired, cameras caught the moment Hurley was on the sidelines, bent down, putting his head into his hands, seemingly trying to wrap up his mind around what just happened. I mean, if I was him, I would be doing the same thing. It's kind of crazy. I mean, it's really bad. Now, to answer your guys' questions on what do you think my thoughts are on and why UConn is playing this bad, they don't have the same team that they had last year. The last 2 years, their teams have been golden. Have been absolutely golden. The last 2 teams have been absolutely golden. But if you look back, right, I'm going to search up. If you guys look back on UConn's records last year, UConn was 13-7 in the conference. Overall was 31-8. Okay, so if they were 31-8, they had 8 losses. It wasn't bad. Now, 2023-2024, when they first won it, they were 37-3. So in 2022 and 2023-2024, just last year, they were 37-3. 2022-2023, when they won their first, they were 31-8. Okay. 2021, 2022, they were 23-10. So their last 2 years, they were 31-8 and 37-3. In 2024, 2025, they're 4-3. That is not a good start. I mean, they had their 3 losses already in their first 7 games of the season. They only had 3 altogether last year. So something's wrong. Something is crazy wrong with UConn. They're going to drop in the rankings big time. But again, I am not going to panic because Dan Hurley can make an adjustment. It's only 7 games throughout the season, so far through the year. But it's not looking good for UConn basketball as it's not like they're losing to good teams. They're losing to unranked teams. Now, again, this is the beginning of the year. Dayton is not that good. But they're good enough to kill UConn. I don't think Dayton's that good. Memphis, I think, got lucky. And Colorado, I think, just played good. I think Memphis got lucky big time. I think Colorado just played good enough to win that game. And I think Dayton was just a better team on that night. Not the best teams win. I've heard this from my professor. I'm going to shout out Professor Robert Gilbert from Montclair State University. Not do all the best teams win all the time. The best team, the team that plays the best on that day will win that game. Listen to what I said. Not the best, not the overall best team always wins the game. The team that plays the best on that specific day will win. And Dayton won, Colorado won, and then Memphis got a luck of the draw when Dan Hurley got a technical foul, and they went up by 2. So, I don't know, guys. I think this is a recipe for disaster for college with UConn. But let's look at the standings so far throughout the first couple games. College top 25. So, let's go over. Let's go over the standings that we got here. I'm gonna show you my. They're gonna do all conferences. Okay, Atlantic Coast. All right, let's try to find. I'd still talk to you guys. Let's just try to find the top 20. Some shockers. I was not expecting my Kentucky Wildcats to be this good. But to be honest, I'll take it. Duke is good. Let's see what we got here. All right, now I got it. So let me share my screen, ladies and gentlemen. They lost. Barnes early in the year. 3 or 4 of their top guys. They're still playing great defense. Just testament to that man, Dan Campbell, what he's done. All right, so we got the coaches poll. We got the coaches poll, and we got the AP top 25. So far we got Kansas. Record 4-0. This is obviously before the tournament. So I would probably flip this around. Kansas first. I would go Auburn second. Houston third. I would go Gonzaga 4. Kentucky 5. Tennessee 6. UConn 8. I would go Alabama 9. I would go Duke 10. Marquette 11. I would go, and then I would keep the fold from there. I want to try to find like some rankings that are now, but I guess they don't have the rankings. Yeah, they don't have the rankings. I guess because the tournament might not count for the season or towards like the rankings. So we'll see. But yeah, UConn's got some problems. We'll see what happens in the near future with UConn and whether or not they can keep going forward and keep pushing forward. But it is not a good start to the season at 4-3, dropping 3 straight in Maui Invitational Tournament, losing to Dayton, Colorado, and Memphis. Not good. I believe none of those teams were ranked. It's not a good start to the season with Dan Hurley trying to win a 3rd consecutive championship. But other than that, guys, we're going to take a quick break and we're going to move on to some sports news. All right, guys, we are back and let's go over some sports stories I got for you guys. So we got a couple things. A month after spending, I should say, we're going to start with the NBA. A month after spraining his wrist and about a year and a half to 2 years of being sidelined with knee surgeries and injuries, Lonzo Ball is finally back in action and looks like for the foreseeable future. Knock on wood, he doesn't get another injury, but he was back last night. He looked promising. Speed was there, IQ. It took a little time to get him into the flow, but he had a pretty good game. The Bulls did sadly lose, but at the same time, it was great to see him back on the court, and it was really just shows that if you work hard and you're on top of your stuff, you can get back from any injury possible. You just gotta believe, and you gotta have the grit and the grind and the dedication to get past that. So that's what Lonzo Ball shows you in his game and his treatment and the way he's came back. After some people said that the surgeries and all the injuries that he's had, he's not coming back for a really long time, or he's not coming back at all. So the fact that he is coming back and he looks like he's healthy and ready to roll is great to see. Now, we got to go to the MLB because the Dodgers just keep on getting better. They just won a World Series. They're in play for Juan Soto. They just paid a monster pitcher more money. Blake Snell, a 2-time Cy Young winner, will sign with the Dodgers on a reported 5-year, $182 million deal. Ladies and gentlemen, that is ridiculous. So the Dodgers just got even better in pitching. On top of that, Clayton Kershaw is coming back next year. So Clayton's back. Blake Snell's there. Yamamoto. Shohei's going to be back. I mean, that is a ridiculous starting lineup when it comes to the pitchers. It's absolutely ridiculous. The Dodgers just keep getting better and better. Again, Blake Snell's got some question marks, blah, 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 but still a great talent. He's won 2 Cy Young winners. That just shows he's not bad. He's a very good talent and a great pitcher in this league. He had to have the right team to believe in him and give him the money. Do I think he's worth $182 million? No. Do I think the Dodgers kind of overpaid? Yes. But it's the Dodgers. It's like the Mets and the Dodgers have like all this money pouring out of their behinds. Like, here, I'll give Juan Soto $700 million for 12 years. Here you go. I'll give Blake Snell 5-year $182. I'll give Shohei Ohtani a 10-year $700 million contract. So yeah, just keep stacking up the cash. Just let it go. That's how the Dodgers are. That's how the Dodgers and the Mets are. They just have so much money. They can just give. And the Dodgers just, in general, have been planning this and putting everything together. They might go on a run. And sad to say, they actually might definitely go on a run. They have the team to do it, and I think they can. They have the team to do it, and I think they can. And that's the problem. So watch out for the Dodgers next year, man. They just won a World Series. Will they go back-to-back? We'll see. I think they're one of the few teams that can go back-to-back. Now, we have some NFL injuries, comebacks, whatever. Chargers running back will miss sometime after suffering a knee sprain versus the Ravens. J.K. Dobbins of the Los Angeles Chargers will be out for a significant amount of time. Miss a couple weeks with a knee sprain as he hurt that in Monday Night Football against the Ravens. So J.K. Dobbins is out for a little bit. Las Vegas Raiders will reinsert QB Aiden O'Connell into the lineup against the Chiefs for Black Friday game. So Aiden O'Connell is going back as the starter for the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders are just in a rebuild mode. They're here, and there. They can never get consistent. So they're going to be moving and going and doing all this other crap. So they're going back and forth with different guys, this, that, and the other thing. Now, former Giants quarterback Daniel Jones chooses his next landing spot following his release from the New York Giants. He will be going and joining the practice squad of the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings will be getting Daniel Jones. Now, again, you have a quarterback room of Sam Darnold. You have a quarterback room of J.J. McCarthy, and now you have a quarterback room of Daniel Jones. So you have a solid quarterback room, a very solid quarterback room. Daniel Jones is not a bad player. He's just not the best player, and we all know that Daniel Jones got paid too much from New York, but New York was desperate. They thought that was their guy. We all knew, even Giants fan knew, Daniel Jones was not that guy. So that's the problem there. But I think that's a good quarterback room. You have a veteran in Sam Darnold. You have another veteran, semi-veteran in Daniel Jones, and you have a second-year quarterback that got off the injured list that's coming back. So that is what is going to happen. I think it's great position for Minnesota, and I think they definitely need that. Now, we move to we go back to the MLB, and longtime shortstop from the Giants won 4 Golden Gloves and was a 3-time All-Star. Brandon Crawford will retire from the MLB officially. That was yesterday. He officially has retired from for the MLB. And then last but not least, guys, Isaiah Pacheco has been activated. He is back and ready to roll. The Chiefs running back has played since week 2 when it broke his fibula versus the Bengals. He is being activated from the IR. So he's probably not going to play definitely this week, but he probably will play next week, if not the following week. So Isaiah Pacheco is coming back for Kansas City, which they really need it because they have no running game. Well, they do, but it's more of it would add more depth. If they have Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco in the backfield, you have a 1-2 punch. You have a big monster back in Kareem, and you have Isaiah Pacheco, who's like a big monster back, but is smaller, a little shiftier, can run through the tackles. So I think that will be really well for Kansas City, especially going down the stretch. They need that running game much more improved, and to help out Patrick Mahomes so he doesn't have to do everything. I think Isaiah Pacheco out of the backfield, Kareem Hunt as the runner, it will be awesome. So I think that will help them tremendously, and I think that's what they need going forward. So that is great news for the Chiefs. Isaiah Pacheco is finally back off the IR and will be resumed play in the next week or two. And then we had a little bit of a funny thing. Bucs QB Baker Mayfield is suing his father's company for $12 million over alleged breach of contract. Interesting story. So his father, I really don't know too much about this. So let's click on it. I really don't know too much about this. A little weird of a story. But let's talk to you guys about this. So Buccaneers quarterback Baker Mayfield sued his father's company last week, allegedly breach of contract over failure to repay millions. Court documents obtained by ESPN show the lawsuit was filed in U.S. District Court in Texas on November 22nd on behalf of Mayfield, his wife, Emily, and their company, Team BRM, LLC TBRM. It alleges that the Camwood Capital Management Group and his subsidiaries obtained $12 million from the Mayfields between 2018 and 2021 without their knowledge or consent. Mayfield's father, James W. Mayfield, is listed as the founder and senior managing director of Camwood Capital on his website. Baker Mayfield's brother, Matt Mayfield, is listed as Camwood Capital's managing director. So a little bit of a family feud here. That is not good for the family of Baker Mayfield. Looks like his brother and his father might be stealing money from him. Tried to think that they wouldn't know, but it came back to bite them in the ass because now Baker Mayfield is suing his father's company. Sometimes people are greedy, man. Sometimes people get envious of others, especially if you're a father or a brother and your son or your brother is making millions and is playing the game he loves, is in a mansion, whatever. Maybe he didn't do enough for him. Whatever the case might be, people just get jealous and envious of others when they're being successful because they want to be in that position, but they don't want to work for it themselves. But this guy's a founder of a company. I wouldn't think there would be any problems with it, but hey, it is what it is. So at the same time, guys, I think this is a little bit of a synopsis. This will go away relatively soon. But this is a little bit of a funny business here. Funny business. But other than that, guys, that is pretty much it. Happy Thanksgiving to you all out there. I appreciate all the support. Let's keep rolling with this. Hope on Friday tomorrow, I'm hoping to have our co-host and my boy Irv back on the podcast. He traveled to Ohio, I believe, so he will be doing that from there. So we should be all good for tomorrow. But I'll keep you guys posted in the TikToks above four. But other than that, guys, have a great rest of your Thanksgiving. Enjoy the time with your families because you never know what would happen next. Never know how long people got. So always keep that in mind. Other than that, guys, have a great rest of your Thanksgiving, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out, guys.